What's going on, everybody? Mike here, AHC Garage. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an all-new video on our 2024 Integra Type S in this beautiful Apex Blue Pearl. On today's video, we'll be doing an entire brake upgrades from Paragon Brakes, and all the items are sitting right over there on that table, and John's gonna tell you guys a little bit more about all of those items there.
So as Mike told you, we're going to be doing a big brake upgrade on a car that already has big brakes. So the difference is this car runs a 4-piston Brembo caliper. We're going to be switching over to the Paragon 6-piston caliper 2-piece. It's also a monoblock caliper, I believe. Yeah, those are monoblocks. This is a twin block, and you can see it is a 6-piston with larger pistons as it goes. So this setup is more efficient, works a lot better, and this also has their new electronless nickel coat plating. You've seen us install these brakes on our friend Jermaine's car. It was a yellow FK8, used to be 100 Pro Jason's car. So it's the same basic idea. This is all same fitment for FK8, FL5, and DE5. So on top of that, what we have is their front rotors. And these are the factory, if you will, upgrade options. They're 355 millimeter, 32 millimeter width on it. You can see all the venting on it, the 2-piece design, and all of the fitment there. That's also going to be paired with the optional upgraded rears. And these are 350 by 11 width. They utilize the factory rear caliper with these special brackets that extend the caliper out, and they're also painted red, so it matches. Because if you take a look over here, the factory caliper is red, but the bracket is silver, so the finish looks a lot better, more complete when you put it together. So this is also available in a few different options as well. That's the nice thing about this company, is they give you options. So this is the fitment that's going to work for 18-inch wheels. They have options to go up from this in diameter size to, I believe it's 370, and a 36 width on the actual rotor. So once you get into that area, 18-inch wheels is going to be very hard to find a fitment that's going to work for clearance issues. So for us, this is the perfect thing. They also have another upgrade above that, and that brings it to I think like a 380 or 385. And they also offer the calipers in a monoblock design too. So also, what they also have for options are their brake pads. They have P2, P3, and then they have R5 and R7. This is above their more street pad. This has a more higher metallic content in it, so it's going to grab more, but it's not going to give you that crazy squeal you get from track pads. That's going to be more of the R class pad range of these, and these are Winmax pads. We've used them on other cars in the past before. Lexuses, they make direct replacements for stock pads. These are manufactured in Japan. They're very good pads. We have that for the front and the rear, and we also have stainless lines that we need to fit these to the front. So overall, the kit is very complete. It is a bolting kit. There's some slight modification that has to go on the dust shield, and just some of the, what should I call it, the casting that's on the front knuckle has to just be smoothed out to allow for the proper clearance of the adapter brackets to fit the front calipers. But we've done this on FK8. This will be the first time we've done anything like this on the DE5, on the Integra. So it's going to be really nice. Definitely going to love the way it's going to look. The rears is where I think you really pick up a lot of performance on this, because you're really increasing your braking. You're really doing a lot of change in your braking force off the 6-piston compared to the 4. So this will be a really nice project, and we're going to get it going. But you know, this car can't be worked on by me alone, because this is the time for TJ, the Integra specialist, to get involved. So he's going to be doing most of the stuff on this one. All right, so you can see the entire setup here. This is all the factory setup. This model comes with the 2-piece rotors. They're vented, but you can also see on the venting, it's not the same kind of venting or vanes that the Paragon calipers have. And this is a 2-piston. This has 2 large pistons. This one has 3 pistons in different sizing. Smallest one starting here, larger, the largest there. That design allows for more braking force to be applied to the car and it to work a lot better that way. So first thing we have to do, get the caliper out the way, get the rotor off, and then we have to see about fitting our brackets that mount the caliper. There is some light modification required in order to get these to fit, but we've done it before and it's not that bad. All right, so now what we're going to do is pinch off the brake line on the soft portion, since the brake line that comes with this caliper only replaces the hard line on the factory one. Then we're going to crack open the bleeder on the front of the caliper and use our vacuum bleeder to suck the fluid out, and this way we don't have any mess. It'll catch everything. So unlike the FK8 that we did the install on, the casting on this one's much smoother and doesn't have the extra at the seams. So our adapter bracket fits right on without any modification, and the backing plate, all we have to do is just bend it out of the way slightly at the top and bottom. So there's almost no modification from this. So this is really a true bolt-on as compared to how it was on the FK8. I'm not aware if all FK8s have that same casting, but I do know that this Type S, it's much smoother in the way the casting is formed, so no modification is needed. So now it's time to install the brake pads. They come with these titanium anti-rattle shims. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of moly coat on the back of the plate so that it'll stick to the pad while we're installing it and it won't move around. This is an important step if you don't want to have weird noises coming from your brakes, such as like rattlings or slight squealing. All right, so now it's time to do the rear brakes. We have to put the brake calipers into brake pad maintenance mode. And what that does is it backs off the electric parking brake actuator so that we can compress the caliper. Because even though the car is very new with low mileage, the new pads may be a little bit fatter than what's on there now, and then it won't fit. So TJ's got our Honda computer here and he's entering it into brake pad maintenance mode. Just a couple clicks from here and we'll show you how it's done. There you go. And then you can hear it actuate. And now it's ready to remove the caliper, recompress the piston, and bolt up all the new goodies. And then when we're done, we go in there and hit the button and it resets the parking brake tension on there so that the parking brake engages properly. Then instead of having one you crank up, you hit a little switch and that's how it works.
All right, so we got the rear brakes all done. Next thing, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go ahead and put back to normal mode. You're gonna click start. We hear that motor engage and we are good to go. All right, guys, so we got the front and rear brakes from Paragon all finished up. Next up, we got the bleed the brake system. Right over here, we have some Rotor 660. We're gonna go ahead and suck all the fluid off the brake reservoir right over here. Now, this reservoir is combined with the clutch system. So once we suck the fluid, we put some fresh fluid in. We wanna go ahead and bleed the clutch system first, and then we'll move on to the rest of the wheels. And we just finished using the vacuum pump to suck out the air from the caliper. And now next up, we're gonna use the little handy tool that we have there to finalize the bleeding. We'll go ahead and put the link in the description on that tool. It's one of the tools that you must have in your garage when it comes to bleeding your brakes. Ready? Well guys, there you have it. We spent the last 15 minutes performing the bedding procedure for the brake pads and the brake rotors to ensure there are proper contact between the two. And I have to say, so far I'm loving the new setup. Now some of you guys go to ask, hey Mike, isn't a Brembo setup already good enough? The answer is yes. If you're gonna do regular daily drive and some spiritual driving, I think they'll be just fine. But if you want something a little bit more, and also you're gonna take the car to like a track event or something like that, I think this new setup is gonna be a setup for you guys. Now, as far as the insulation goes, is 100% bolt on, no modification, unlike some of the FK8. As far as the finish goes, I love the new finish. I mean, brake rotors and caliper, how can you go wrong with that? Now, aside from that, we got something coming, which is next video. We have the very highly anticipated PRL high volume intakes, and also the charge pipe. Will be installing that on this vehicle next week, so definitely want to stay tuned. And we're gonna wrap today's video up. My name is Mike. Thanks again for watching. We'll see all of you again next week.